outer bark and soak them in grease and use them for a lamp. But today, which we don't need that today, but these are real nice, especially for the wives and stuff, to put the recipe cards in while they're cooking. And set it on the counter, and then, it's a dual purpose,
Right.
And then it's nice at Christmas, and, they can do decorations and different things like that,
Yeah.
But all that is a simple pair of tongs, and then it's, got some decoration on it, balls and twisted and stuff like that. And so we're going to do that today, and this all falls back into the tong making. I mean, it's just a simple pair of tongs, So we're going to kill two birds with one stone to show you how to make tongs too. So what we do on making tongs, I don't know how many of you make tongs, but you want to make both sides the same, identical. And what we get into, you see a lot of people or a lot of blacksmiths demonstrate. They'll say, well, you set down this, and you set it this way, and you set it that way. Well, that's fine when you do it on the anvil. But you got to do the second piece the same as the first piece so it'll match up. So I've simplified that a little bit by using a rod, different size rods for different size material. We're going to be using a 1/2 inch material today, so we have a 1/4 inch rod, which is half of the material. And we're going to use that to set down and do the little 30-degree angle on there, and it'll give us starting points to draw our reins out, to draw for the ball, and it's really simple. Makes home making really, really, really simple. So what I have here, this is 01, and it's just a drill rod, and you can get it at different suppliers, and it just fits in the petrol hole, but you have to use some type of good material. Mild steel won't hold up. As you beat on it, it'll just start curling, which this will too. But you can straighten it out, and it's, it holds its shape better. I use a lot of hay rake spring, the tooth, from old hay rakes. That's good spring steel. I don't temper it. I heat it up, straighten it, I nail it, and then I'll bend it or just fix it to my petrol hole, whichever way, And you want these, this is a little tight in this, but in mine, this goes in my petrol hole, and I'll just kick it out to the side. When I'm done with it, I just leave it there, pull it back, whatever. I just leave it in the petrol hole. But it really makes tongue making really, 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 really simple. And what I do, I line this up on the anvil, and I just chalk me a line. Okay? Now, our jaws, this material is going to be 1/2 inch. So we know we're going to need a 1/2 inch mark. So we'll mark it a 1/2 inch, and I want to draw these jaws 1.5 inches in length. So we want to mark it at 3/4, because it's going to double in length as we draw it out. Okay? So we'll mark that at 3/4, and then I'm going to mark it at 1 inch. And the inch is for the ball. If you make that ball, that one is made out of the upset 5/8. I upset it a little bit at 5/8. I didn't like it. It's not enough. So an inch on the other one will give you a pretty good ball. Okay. Now that everybody says, "Oh, I don't know how to make a ball." How do you make a ball surround? It's really, really simple. And Joey, when we get done with this afternoon, he's going to demonstrate some decorative nails with the ball heads and the faceted knobs and stuff. So we're going to kill 2 or 3 birds with one brick here. But what we're going to do, we're going to upset that about 1 inch to give us a ball that big. Now another way to do that is you can wrap a piece of flat bar and weld it, okay? And then make a ball on there. But you have to add material some way, somewhere for that purpose. So we're marked off here at our intervals, and you'll need to have some special tongs and stuff to hold your work. I mean, just any parent wants one. So we've got some box jaws here. This is for a ½ inch, and this is a little bit bigger. So, I mean, it'll hold your material, keep it from wobbling and flopping around and coming back up, hitting you in the face and all that. So, right tools for the right job is the mainstay. Now, on the material here, I've already cut the material, and it's 7 inches for the tallest one there. To make it's 7 inches for that tallest jaw, and 5 for the short jaw. Okay, and an inch of that's going to be for the bottom. So you can make a real nice pair of tongs out of 2 pieces of ½ inch, 7 inches long. You know. And I don't know why everybody has so much trouble out of making tongs, see, but they do. But you got to just sit and just sort of think it out a little bit. It's really simple when you get to it. And I mean, when you're doing tong after tong after tong, but then there's several different things that has a big bearing on your work, making tongs or anything. The anvil's the main thing, the hammer's the second thing, the knowledge is the third thing. This anvil's not really too bad. It needs a little grinding up on the edges and stuff, but the hammer makes a difference. Now, Joey made this hammer for me. I ordered it here a few months ago, and I don't know why people have never come up with this 45-degree on the back of it instead of a straight peen or a cross peen. I mean, you know, instead of 45, this thing is really helpful. I mean, you wouldn't think it would be, and I said, well, make me a 45 cross peen. And so he did, and I mean, it's really worked out. I could use a bigger square face hammers. I have a whole set of these, and this is what I've used for the last 25 years, this hammer. And I haven't even used it lately. I've been using this one. And this is a 3 pound, this is 3.5. But it's really good for drawing and different things. I really like it. Makes a difference. Makes a big difference in your work. And I think it's where a lot of people go wrong. They'll just go out and buy any hammer, just, you know, starting out, or they have a piece of railroad rail or track or whatever, and they're trying to work with it. Well, that's all right till you get you enough money saved up to get you an anvil, get you some good tools and stuff. But tools make the job. I mean, the material. Lots of times you go out so what we're going to do, we're going to set this down at 3/4 of an inch for the jaw. Go past the thickness of the jaw. We rotate it over, and we go to the ½ inch mark, and we set down. That's for the bolster. Okay. Now we do an angle for the jaw. We set that down. We make 3 set downs. Okay. Now here's the first one we made here. Okay, you see it's a 1/4 inch. Here's the second one we made here for the bolster. And then the third one is for the angle of the jaw, so that you have your bolster clearance in there. And we're going to draw that out. I mean, if you do each one of them that way, you can do half a dozen of them, or a dozen of them. And then when you need a pair of tongs, all you have to do is draw them out. And they'll all match. Everything will match up. Instead of, oh, well, I've got to grind this a little bit, or I made that too long, or whatever. But then I just push that out of the way. That's the handiest little thing you ever see. Because I don't need it. It's in my way now. Until I need to sit down some more. Can y'all hear me? Can everybody hear me? Glenn said he had some kind of intercom, but I figured everybody could hear me, you know.
I can wire you up real quick.
Me and my big mouth tonight. Yeah, that's fine, sir. Okay, now we're going to sit down for the jaw. One thing everybody has a tendency of doing when they're drawing out, they get these jaws too thin, too long, and too thin. Okay? You just need to lay it up on it. That's what you're doing, draw from the back. Don't keep drawing right on the end. Get right out on the end, it really will get thin. Now keeping that little offset right there, you want to define that a little more, you just pull your tool back. This way, all your tone jaws, everything matches up. So we'll keep everything straight when you're working on this stuff. Just let it get out of kilter and twisted, and it's really turns out bad. And your material, you want to use good material. Don't go to the junkyard and buy your material, because most of it's rusted. Now we're sitting down the reins, the start of the reins. Don't you just love the sound of that anvil? Huh? Thus it's not ringing or anything. I love it. That's what I got in my shop, is Fisher anvils. Then I set the jaws down and set the reins down. Yes, sir.
Whenever we
Speak up. I can't hear you. Speak up.
I like to make stuff with anvil, and whenever I make it, it's all like black. How do you make it shiny?
Well, you have to polish it. That's why it's called blacksmithing, because the material turns black. Now, if you're whitesmithing, you'll file it and make it shiny like silver, or polish it with sandpaper, files, or whatever. Okay, you see both of these set downs for the jaw and the rein start. Now we have this cross set down is to define our bolster. Okay, we'll set that down, but you have to draw this down on the reins so it'll define your bolster. The material, I'll get back to the material there. Buy new material. And don't go get key stock. There's a difference. You want hot roll, square stock. Try to get hot roll with any of your fortune. Key stock's got a high content of carbon, and the edges are sharp. Key stock. Cold roll or hot roll, well, cold roll is key stock, but hot roll will have rounded edges, and it welds good because it's low carbon, and it cleans up good. If you go get something that's rusty, I mean, I have people and they'll say, oh, I'll bring this material and you can make me this and you can make me that. Well, you know, I can pick up that junk anywhere. You know, I don't need it. I mean, so we'll get into that when we start blacksmithing. People will come and they'll want you to make spike knives and everything. They'll say, well, I'll bring you a spike. Well, I don't need your spikes, you know. I don't want your spikes, you know. Bless their hearts. But there's a lot more work in it than just bringing somebody a spike, okay? Keep everything straight. Now, this particular hammer, the way it draws, the way I ground it for drawing. Now, when I want to do a flat finish up, I want to use my flat-faced hammer. They're ground different than that. So a lot of people, they'll have one hammer, but you know, I have multiple hammers. I mean, depending on what I'm doing, I may pick up a 3.5 pounds. I may go to a pound and a half. It just depends. And I've seen a lot of people, that's blacksmithing, and they'll have their hammers and they'll punch and they'll cut with the hot cut and everything. And you pick the face of their hammer up and it looks like a briar patch. I mean, it's horrible to look. You know, and if you look at my hammers, you don't see a bunch of marks in my hammer. You'll see them all cut up.